Well, welcome to Live in the Pub. This is Susan O'Rourke. I'm here, of course, with Zig Zeitler and many other very happy folks who are glad as heck to be here live in the pub.
They all look so happy. Don't they look happy?
Oh, they look thrilled. Did you have a hard time finding a seat today?
I did.
You did?
I did. I actually had to buy a seat today.
I hope you didn't pay too much.
Cost me 3 Guinnesses.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
3?
3 Guinnesses.
And at $5 a pop, how much is a Guinness now?
About $5 a pop.
Yeah, it's $15 to come to work.
The price you gotta pay.
Well, today we have a great show, as usual, lined up for you. We're going to get to hear, for those of you, first of all, who don't, or this might be your first time in the pub, just so that you know, in the beginning of our shows, I try to do at least 3 sets of instrumental tunes, and then I go off into songs and other types of things, traditional songs, as well as at the end I always wrap up with some really great pub music or some Irish rock. So in case you're not a tune lover and every time you tune in you're hearing tunes so you turn it off, there's more. So make sure you listen to the show from beginning to end. And if you can't hear the whole thing on radio, you can always go to our podcast and catch it on our Live in the Pub Facebook page after the show, and you can listen to the whole show in its entirety.
You see that?
Every week.
You see that? She gave away all the secrets. She probably gave away the key to the treasure, too.
There's no treasure. That's the truth. There's no treasure.
No treasure.
At the gathering a couple of weeks ago, Gavin pulled me aside, and out of his overcoat, he slipped out this secretive CD and he slid it into my hand saying, "Shh, don't tell anybody I gave you this." No, he didn't say that, but it's a great story, isn't it? But he gave me this brand new CD, and of course it has one of his sons on it, Sean Gavin. It is a CD with Jesse Smith, Sean Gavin, John Blake, and Johnny Ringo McDonough. And I was really excited to get it because I know it's going to have a great mix of tunes because they're all great players. So we're going to listen to a couple of cuts from this brand new CD, and the name of the CD is Music from the Lost Continent.
All right, let's hear that.
starting off today's show listening to some tunes from the brand new CD, Music from the Lost Continent, and that features Jesse Smith, Sean Gavin, John Blake, and Johnny Ringo McDonough. And as usual, they're great players. I know you can appreciate it, Zig.
Yeah, very nice stuff. Just about anything the Gavins are involved in is great stuff.
Okay, so we're going to listen to one more cut off of this CD, and then I think that Liam is going to be coming in and giving us a breakdown of what's happening Irish in the state of Michigan. So make sure that you have something to write down important dates so that you don't miss anything really wonderful coming up your way. Coming up right now, though, is going to be one more tune off of this CD, and it is their wrap-up tune at the end of their CD, and it is also a set of reels, I believe, St. Ruth's Bush and the Galtee reel. I love the Galtee reel, too.
Right, let's hear it.
Hi everybody, it's Liam, and boy have I got a lot to tell you about this week. Get a pencil and paper and stand by because there's way too much Irish entertainment going on this weekend. This week is probably the busiest week other than St. Patrick's Day week, and by the way, it's halfway to St. Patrick's Day. So, get a pencil, get ready, or better yet, just go to miirish.com and follow along with me if you can. Today is Tuesday. We know that means it's sessions up at the Steinhaus in Bay City tonight. And tomorrow there's sessions at the Conklin Bar over by Grand Rapids. But starting on Thursday, the fun begins. It's the Michigan Irish Music Fest Pub Preview Night in Muskegon. It kicks off a whole weekend of incredible Irish music from the great people that put on the Michigan Irish Music Festival. Probably the best in the Midwest, in my opinion. A huge festival. If you've never been, you should try and go. But I'm going to pre-warn you, getting a hotel room about Muskegon now is next to impossible. You'll have to drive quite a ways out of town to find a place to stay. But it's well worth it, because if you go to michiganirish.org, that's michiganirish.org, you'll get a complete list of entertainment, everything that goes on, map of the grounds, prices, everything you need to know about the Michigan Irish Music Festival is at michiganirish.org, or you can go to our page, miirish.com, and click on every day. That'll tell you a little bit about what's going on. But try and make it, because with all that great entertainment concentrated in one town, it brings a lot of those same performers and even some others that aren't going to be at Michigan Irish Music Festival to Michigan. So your choices are huge this weekend. For instance, Thursday down at the Gaelic League in Detroit, and I'm going to butcher her beautiful name, Aoife Scott, in concert at the Gaelic League, 7 p.m. If you haven't got your tickets, I'm sure there's tickets at the door, but try and catch that if you're not going up to Muskegon. And in Arbor, at the Ark, Altan, an incredible traditional Irish group, 8 p.m. Thursday the 15th. And then Friday the 16th, it's all the Michigan Irish Music Festival. It's a great night to be there. They have a way to get in free that night if you get there early enough. So look up michiganirish.org again, get all the information on that. And then Saturday, all sorts of great things beginning at 11 o'clock at the Michigan Irish Music Festival. One of the best days of the whole festival over in Muskegon. Check it out. But if you can't make it there and you're Patty Cures fan, you get 2 chances on Saturday to see him. One is at the Fallisburg Festival, a great arts and crafts show over in Lowell. It's a juried arts and crafts show. Some fabulous vendors there. I love going to that when I can make it. And music all day, but at 11:45, Patty's Cure will be on the stage. And then again, 7 p.m. at their home saloon in downtown Lowell for halfway to St. Patty's Day. Patty's Cure will be at Larkin Saloon. And then in Ann Arbor the same night, if you're not coming up to Muskegon, might I highly recommend Glenn Hansard at the Michigan Theater. If you don't know who Glenn Hansard is, he is not a traditional player, although he can do it as well as anybody. He is a contemporary singer-songwriter from Ireland. You may remember him from the movie Once, where he played a busker, which is how he actually did get his start, and still does occasionally busk in downtown Dublin. But Glenn will be there with his new repertoire of more modern songs. And if this Leprechaun wasn't going to be in in Muskegon, I would be in Ann Arbor that night. Sunday, September 18th, Muskegon, the Michigan Irish Music Festival kicks off with Mass at 9 a.m. And there's a way, if you bring canned goods, you can get into the Mass and the festival for free, or non-perishable food items. So go to their website, again, michiganirish.org. Find out all about that. Lots of radio shows, lots of traditional Irish sessions, but at 7 p.m. in Ann Arbor, it's the Gothard Sisters at the Ark. These girls are taking America by storm this year. They are 3 beautiful blonde sisters who are all incredibly talented, all play multiple instruments and dance and everything else. We highly recommend that if you can't get to Muskegon for the Sunday Michigan Irish Music Festival, that you check out the Gothard Sisters in Ann Arbor at the Ark. Then we're back to Monday with a bunch of Irish shows, especially the Michigan Irish Music Cafe at 4 p.m. But in Traverse City, Aoife Scott will be at Sletter's Tavern. And in Saline, there's a night of Irish traditional music with the Shraves. They're a Canadian group, I believe, and they'll be at the Italian restaurant downtown. All the information is right on MI Irish's schedule of Irish and Celtic event. Go to the date, go to the time, click on the link, give you all the information you need, and then closes up 9 p.m. with Blarney on the air with our good friend Shay Clark. I've talked way too long, my friends, way too much entertainment. Look it all up on the MI Irish site, or go to michiganirish.org for the Michigan Irish Music Festival information. In the meantime, everyone, stay Irish.
We will, Liam.
Thanks, Liam, for all the information. You know, even though I knew how busy this upcoming schedule was going to be this week, I still didn't catch it all. That's the truth. So I'm going to have to go to MI Irish, too, and recap it.
That's what it's there for.
Yeah, that's what it's there for. It's for people like you and me who are sitting in a pub that aren't paying attention when we should be paying attention.
Yeah, well, I was kind of looking at Liam's and he's kind of walking funny today. I didn't know if it was the Guinness or his buckles on his shoes were too tight.
I think we broke them.
We probably broke them.
I think we've used them extensively over the course of this last year, and I think he's broken.
Yeah.
So anyway, what a fabulous lineup. I mean, really, some unbelievable things are happening in this area. The O'Shraves are one of the bands that I would have really loved to have seen. I'm in Milwaukee this next coming week doing the Arts Midwest Conference, so I won't be able to see any of that great Irish stuff. You could, Zig.
Yeah.
You could take phone video and send it to me.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
Yeah, that gives them an excuse to get out and have another Guinness.
That could work.
So what we're going to listen to now is this kind of a treat. It's a treat for me, so I hope it's a treat for you. Mary Jane Lamond is famous as doing mouth music, which is really singing in the Irish tongue. She is born and raised in Canada. She sings traditional Irish and Celtic music of the Cape Breton area. And she is the recipient of many, many, many very prestigious awards. She's done music for film and theater, as well as for CDs, of course. The couple of cuts that we're going to listen to today are off of her Storis CD. And I like them because they have a very world rhythm that are added to it. And that's what she's kind of notorious for. Back in the 1980s and 90s, she was known for kind of her punkish attitude and style about presenting this music. So she's, I think the way it was described in one of her CDs, maybe this one here, is that she presents traditional music in a very modern or contemporary kind of landscape, which I think is always intriguing. And I love to see that music when it's carried over into today's world. And because then people listen to it that might never have listened to it at all. So we're going to listen to two cuts off of the CD from Mary Jane Lamond. I hope you love it.
Suas maruis kan miawo Udidio railo 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 Udidio railo Manian down is boje Hoest de room of Ogan crown Hoest me nach brachi naam Hoest de baby to go on Geshit the yalu gonsa Udidio railo 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 Manian down is boje Chai mishan shin suas Rai mi top so churmun gusht Gusht de room na han min nuas Da chroi wadi boyach Udidio railo 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 Udidio railo Manian down is boje vel na tie Katarach gagan spare na reapen ans da ropan Udidio Rilo 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 Udidio Rilo Manian down is volje Age besjes gu count nog vein Park wat da het gehad part Fussen farm you where what Gebracht hat je ansjen passig Udidio Rilo 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 Udidio Rilo Manian down is volje Age besjes gu atjen takkers Teet er nee ach hekken Natters moertjek she aan zijn pies en ride Ik sjen gach je pasta Udidio Rilo 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 Udidio Rilo Manian down is volje Udidio Rilo 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 Udidio Rilo Manian down is volje
We have been listening to Mary Jane Lamond, and she's a Cape Breton singer of traditional and Irish music and folk music from the Cape Breton area.
Yeah, nice stuff.
It's very nice. You know, she has a very definite world music flair to what she does. But she also, you know, I know that she studied at St. Francis Xavier University in Nova Scotia. She was in the Celtic Studies program, and they have an enormous amount of traditional music field recordings there that I know that she became very familiar with. And she has been bringing that music to audiences all over the world for many, many years. I came to know her because I watched some movie, and I can't even remember the name of the movie anymore, but at the end of the movie, there was one of her songs very similar to what we've just listened to that had the world percussion kind of beat to it with the Gaelic language verses sung to it at the end of the movie. And I hung at the end of the movie waiting to see who was singing the song. And that's how I came to know Mary Jane Lamond. So
Nice stuff.
now, if you didn't know her before, I hope you know her now. So we're going to now listen to someone that Zig and I both know, and that is Danny Flynn of the band New York Brogue. We met him quite a few years back when we played at the Long Island Irish Festival. I think you even sat in with Danny.
Yes, I did.
At that festival. He's a Bowron player, a really exceptional Bowron player, but he's a really nice singer. I mean,
he's got a very nice voice.
Very nice voice, and the way they arrange some of these songs. Now, I know that most of our listening audience is going to know most of the songs that we play off of this CD from New York Brogue, but when you listen to it, it has a very contemporary, almost jazz, modern sense to his arrangements of these pieces. And he surrounds himself with great players on the CD. All the arrangements on this are by James Riley. It is the CD was recorded at the Grogue Studios in Tuckahoe, New York, and I think you are all going to love it. It's called New York Brogue, Bury Me on McLean, and we're going to listen to a few of the songs off of that. I think the first one we're going to listen to is Dublin in the Rare Old Times. Almost everybody out there knows this one. And The Town I Love So Well. And if we have the time, I think even the band played Waltzing Matilda.
Right, let's hear it.
On songs and stories, heroes of renown, are the passing tales and glories. Once was Dublin town, the hallowed halls and houses, haunting children's rights, that once was part of Dublin in the red old times. Ring a rosy as the lights decline. I remember Dublin scenting in the red old times. I mean, name it is Sean Dempsey, Dublin as can be, born hard and raised in Pinnering Cove, in a house that ceased to be. By trade I was a cooper, lost out to redundancy. Like my house it fell to progress, my trade's a memory. Ring a rosy as the lights decline. I remember Dublin scenting in the red old times. And I quoted Peggy Dignan, as pretty as you please, a rogue and a child of Mary from the rebel liberty. Oh, I lost her to a student chap with skin as black as coal, when he took her Birmingham, he took away my soul. Ring-a-ring-a-rosy, as the lights decline, I remember Dublin City in the rare old time. The years have made me bitter, the goggle dims my brain, for Dublin keeps on changing, nothing seems the same. The pillar and the mat have gone, the royal long since pulled down, as this grey unyielding concrete makes a city of my town. Ring-a-ring-a-rosy, as the lights decline, I remember Dublin City in rare old times. Well, sweet Anna Liffey, I can no longer stay and watch the new glass cages that spring up around the quay. My mind's too full of memory, too old to hear new chimes. I'm a part of what was Dublin in the red old towns. Ring-a-ring-a-rosy, as the lights decline, I remember Dublin City in the red old times. Ring-a-ring-a-rosy, as the lights decline, I remember Dublin City in the rare old times. My memory, I will always see the town that I have loved so well, where our school played by the gas yard wall, and we laughed through the smoke and smell. Going home in the rain, running up the dark lane, past the jail and down behind the fountain. Those were happy days in so many, many ways. A town I loved so well. factory home, or the women from Grogan, the moor and the bow, or the man on the dome played a mother's role for the children, and then she rang the door. And when times got tough, there was just about enough, but they saw it through without complaining. Oh, deep inside was a burning pride for the town I love so well. There was music there in the dairy, yeah, like a language that we all don't understand. I remember the day when I earned me first pay, when I played in a small pickup band. There I spent my youth, and to tell you the truth, I was sad to leave it all behind me. For I'd learned about life, and I'd found me a wife, the town that I love so well. And now I've returned, and how my eyes they have burned to see how a city could be brought to its knees by the armored cars and the bombed out bars, and the gas that hangs on to every breeze. Now the army's installed by that old gas yard wall, and the damn barbed wire gets higher and higher, with their tanks and guns. Oh my God, what have they done to the town that I loved so well? Now the music's gone, but they carry on, for the spirit's been bruised, never broken. They will not forget, though their hearts they are set on tomorrow and once again. For what's done is done, and what's won it is won, and what's lost is lost and gone forever. All I can do is pray for a brand new day, town that I love so well. Bembridge town in the county down one morning last July. Down a Bowling Green came a sweet Colleen, and she smiled as she passed me by. She looked so sweet from her 2 bare feet to the sheen of her nut brown hair. Such a coaxing out, sure I shook myself to see I was really there. From Bantry Bay up to Derry came, Galway to Dublin town. Made a scene like the brown Colleen that I met in the county down. On one sped, sure I scratched my head and I looked with a feeling red. And I said, says I, to a passerby, who's the maid with the nut brown hair? He smiled at me and he said, says he, it's the gem of Ireland's crown. Young Rosie McCann from the banks of the Banch, the star of the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Kane, Galway to Dublin town. I made a scene like the brown Colleen that I met in the county down. The harvest fair shall be surely there, and I'll dress in my Sunday clothes, with my Siusan right and my hat cocked right for a smell from a nut brown rose. The pipe I'll smoke no horse, so yoked to me plough is a rustled brown. To the silent bride by my own fireside, it's the star of the county down. From Bantry Bay to Derry Kane, Galway to Dublin town. I made a scene with the brown Colleen that I met in the county down. From Bantry Bay to Derry Kane, Galway to Dublin town. I made a scene with the brown Colleen that I met in the county down.
Right, Danny.
Yeah, these are all phenomenal arrangements of these songs that we all know really well.
Yep.
We've been listening to New York Brogue. The singer in that group is Danny Flynn. He's also on Bowron. The individual who credits himself for the arrangements is James Riley. James also is on guitar and harmony vocals. Dennis McCarthy on fiddle and whistle. Isaac Alderson on flutes. So it's a phenomenal little CD. It's only five songs long. I waived Waltzing Matilda because it's such a long cut, and I went with Star of the County Down.
Yeah, it is a long cut.
Just so you know that. Because I wanted to save a little time so that we could listen to a Detroit local favorite, which is one of our favorite Irish rock groups here in the state of Michigan, Bill Grogan's Goat. Bill Grogan's Goat.
All right.
So we're going to end today's show with a cut from Bill Grogan's Goat CD. I love their cover. It's like a red-headed goat who has a piercing and is chewing a smoking cigar. I love it. Don't you love that?
Don't most goats chew cigars?
Well, maybe so, but they're usually not lit at the time.
Oh.
So this goat seems to have it going on, man.
Yeah, well, they like to chew hats, so I think a cigar's not a far cry
and he's
from
got
that.
a ring in his nose, too, like a little bull. So he's got a ring in his ear and a ring in his nose. I love their cover art. Cover art's fantastic. So we've had a great time here today with everybody in the pub. Always a great time with Zig. I hope to see everybody next week. Remember to go to miirish.com and catch up on the schedule and find out everything you need to know about what's happening Irish in the state of Michigan. Also, remember to come and see us on our Facebook page at Live in the Pub on, at facebook.com/live in the pub. And you can also, I know it gets so hard, isn't it?
I know, all these numbers.
And I try to get it all in under the wire here. And also, you can go to our Facebook page anytime after the show is aired and hear the whole show in its entirety. And please give the page a thumbs up. It doesn't cost you a dime. And share our posts, okay?
That's right.
Yeah.
And don't forget, we just got done with our big festival not too long ago. Think of next year.
No, stop it right now. So till next week, safe home.
Live in the pub. See you all next week. Bye-bye.
fair maid? Who are you, me honey? Who are you, me pretty fair maid? Who are you, me honey? She answered me modestly, I am the mammy's darling. With me to Raya, folly diddle da, down the fall of little there I And will you come to me mammy's house when the moon is shining clearly? Will you come to me mammy's house when the moon is shining clearly? I'll open the door and I'll let you in, and devil one will hear us. With me to Raya, follow diddle da, down and follow diddle there I So I went to her house in the middle of the night, and the moon was shining clearly. I went to her house in the middle of the night, the moon was shining clearly. She opened the door and let me in, and devil one did hear us. With me to Raya, follow diddle da, dire follow diddle there I Well, she took my horse by the bridle and the bit and led him to the stable. She took my horse by the bridle and the bit and led him to the stable, saying there's plenty of oats for the soldier's horse, heed him if he's able. With me to Raya, folly diddle da, dire folly diddle there I Then she took me by the lily white hand and led me to the table. She took me by the lily white hand, led me to the table, saying there's plenty of wine for the soldier boy, drink it if he's able. With me to Raya, folly diddle da, dire folly diddle there I I got up and I made the bed and I made it nice and easy. I got up and I made the bed and I made it nice and easy. I got up and I laid her down, saying, lassie, are you able? With me to Raya, folly diddle da, dire folly diddle there I till the break of the day, and devil one did hear us. There we lay till the break of the day, and devil one did hear us. I rose, put on my clothes, saying, lassie, I